with Fish and O'Reilly, I love the Undisputed Era's entrance. All four of these guys, they all look like they belong together, just like the classic Horsemen did. They've got charisma. I would have pushed these guys to the moon if I'd had them on a roster. Wait a minute. I did. Except for Fish. We had him right before I left. But yeah, O'Reilly and Roddy and fucking Adam Cole. And they, anyway, this match was athletic as fuck. The one thing that was wrong with it that they couldn't do anything about was that the people liked the heels better than the English guys, even, and I guess the English guys are nominally heels, but the people like Undisputed Era better than they like the English guys. So they got a set of heat first on one of the English guys, Drake, and then gave a so-so hot tag to Gibson. I did just, and a so-so comeback. And then they went to break, and by the time they got back from break, they'd stopped O'Reilly and got some heat on him so he could get a hot tag to Bobby Fish. And Fish makes a good comeback, but the heels are getting bigger babyface pops. That's what comes when the people realize it's a show and okay, these heels are really fucking good, so we're going to cheer for them. And, they should have went ahead and I don't know. But anyway, that's the only thing that hurt the match. All the guys did excellent. But the fans were cheering for the heels. They did the Undisputed Era did a really nice double team finish for a 2 count, and then it became scrambled eggs and a lot of backslap tags, which this is an epidemic, especially in NXT. And I can't believe apparently somebody has just said, it's okay to do this because it's easier. Because no veterans teach this. That you can slap a guy on his shoulder and that's a tag. So apparently they've just changed it. It's still, when the Revival does it right, it still looks a whole lot cooler. But anyway, Imperium came out and distracted Fish and O'Reilly so that Gibson and Drake could win. And that was fine because they're still the tag team champions, but these guys moved on in the tournament and the reason was Imperium appeared. But have you noticed on these 2 shows, at least 3, maybe 4 times, somebody just appears in the arena or on a screen and the dumb fuck that's getting distracted just has to stand there and go, oh, and then they get beat. If they're going to make a distract, could there at least be a reason for them to be there? Could they at least just run down and try to get involved? Could there be something otherwise that I'm just going to stand there and watch these guys on a platform 30 feet away from me stand there and get beat? Did you pick up on that?
Yeah, I mean that, and plus every time someone comes out, no matter what the situation is, their music has to play. It has to announce that they're coming out, and then very often they will stand on the little platform and do their Broadway pose or whatever. Everyone has now like a custom pose they do in wrestling, and I hate that. But
if the goddamn heel just came out dressed as the popcorn guy with a big fucking tray of popcorn in front of his face and fucking suddenly threw a box right in the fucking baby face's way or right at him right as he turns around and goes, what the fuck? It's you. And then boom, schoolboy, whatever the fuck, instead of just standing there forever. Anyway, it was a good tag match, but had those issues that I mentioned.
What do you think of the name of the team, the Grizzled Young Veterans?
Well, no, that's not going to be whatever the fuck they actually become stars with. I'm not saying that they're not good wrestlers, but no, they got a lot of weird names, as we will get to on this program. Not names that sound like they would be names.
One other question for you. I enjoyed the match. I thought it was good, but I did have an epiphany during it. I was thinking back to the Monday Night Wars or war. I guess shouldn't be pluralized technically. There are a lot of matches on those shows. I don't remember too many that went 20 minutes. And it seems nowadays between both companies, we have a lot of long matches. Do you think that's good or bad? Obviously you have a lot of television time to fill up. And in, the case of one company, it may not have the giant roster to fill up that show and keep it fresh each week. But
no, you don't know. The matches don't need to be 20-something fucking minutes. That needs to be special, not regular. In OVW, I shoehorned everything I could shoehorn into that 1 hour show and was down to timing VTRs within 15 seconds to put it all in. And I was running a wrestling school. I didn't have a billionaire's budget, and both sides have a billionaire's budget. So I'm sure I could have, and I still didn't have long, drawn-out, multiple-segment matches unless it was built up to where it meant something. An OVW championship match, a loser leave town match, something, a big blow-off, whatever. Because you can get all your guys in, and you don't just have to put them all out there and have them wrestle for 20 minutes. Show them on I always had a checklist when I was writing a television format, whether it be OVW, Ring of Honor, Smoky Mountain, whatever, of all my talent. I wanted all the main event guys to both work and talk in some fashion, whether it was being wrestling and then being heard in a VTR or a live interview, but also I wanted them to be VTR'd from the previous week. What did they do? So I had a checklist where, you know, some guys, as long as they were represented, if they were on the card, well, they're in a VTR, or they're working in a match, or they're talking in a pre-tape. But my main event guys would work and would talk and would be seen in VTRs and blah, blah, blah. And I would have a scale to make sure everybody was represented. And I still had trouble getting everybody in a wrestling school show or in a small territory, because you create things to fit the fucking format of your program. You don't just send guys out there to have 20-minute fucking matches all the time. So there's variety, there's recaps, there's pre-tape promos, there's live promos, there's matches, there's fucking angles. And, you know, so pretty much the first half hour of that show was the tag match, which that's great every once in a while, but not all the fucking time. Anyway,